name is Wayne Balch. I own Balch Automotive and Collision. We've been in business 38 years, accelerated offshore. We build offshore performance boats, and we also own Auto Parts Incorporated, which is a distributor where we distribute paint and body supplies. We've been using Transtar for 8 years. This is a whole system. We use it from their primers, from their sealers to their color, right on through the clears. It had been in about 2 weeks, and our head painter came to us and he said, I asked him some questions, and he said, "You might as well take the other brand out. I'm done." He said, I've been using this exclusively for 2 weeks, and I've had zero paint match issues. I've had none of the issues we were having, and he said, "I'm sold." He said, "You might as well take the other stuff out." Of course, we didn't right away because we're going to make sure before we made that big change. That's a big change, and to get a company to change their brands, you have to make sure that you get supply, you get support when you need it. How are their updates running? There's a lot that goes into any supplier, any paint company, to make sure that they come across and they're professional. You've got to have it's got to be the whole thing. It can't be just supplying you a primer or supplying you with a clear coat, and this is a whole system. We use it from their primers, from their sealers to their color, right on through the clears. When we first started, of course we switched over and we were using it in a production environment, and honestly we do a lot of locality type work also. So we had started out using it in that environment. So police cars, utility vehicles, things of that nature. Okay, we're going to give it a try here. Let's see what it does. First thing we noticed was, the amount of paint that it took for coverage. It was a lot less than what we were using in our previous brand. And I'm not going to go into brands because it doesn't matter, but other people will know what I'm talking about. When you don't have the coverage that you need. Their sealers were remarkable. Your sealer got you almost there because a lot of those cars are white. So, your sealer got you almost there. You could almost got away with one coat of base in white, and that's almost unheard of. I used to be a stock car racer, drag racer, and as we grew older and stopped doing all of that stuff on a weekly basis, you needed some kind of a fix. So we started getting into the performance boating because you didn't have to go to a racetrack for that. You could just go to the local river or lake, and you could still get your performance fix in. You still got to smell race fuel, and then as things progressed on, you wanted to be better than your buddy down the road, and it started getting faster and faster and faster, and next thing you know, it's weren't so safe anymore. So then all of a sudden we figured that now we needed to do a better boat. So that's how we got into the performance boating side of things, and we were pretty lucky. We had one of our painters that had been painting for us a good while. Their dad was a fiberglass rep for one of the largest fiberglass companies in the country, and he was going through and teaching fiberglass infusion to all of these boat builders when things started to go in that direction. And we were lucky enough to get to tag along and go to these different venues with him and go to these plants and see how these big boat companies made their boats, and teach them a new process that they didn't know yet, that we were actually on the ground floor learning, didn't even realize what we were really learning at the time and how valuable it became later. All of our boats that we do now, and we build them 38, 40 feet long, and they're all infused carbon fiber, really light, really strong, and it is just super exciting. I can't even tell you how stoked we are over that one. Yep, our first boat goes into paint about 2 weeks after this is being shot here, and I'm trying to get him to come back and get some more footage of that. So I'm sure he will, because it's I'm going to send him some pictures and he won't be able to resist. So it's yeah, but our first boats are being built now. We've got a couple of them out of the mold already. The first one is almost ready to go into primer, you know, this week or next at the latest, and then it'll go right into paint. It's already won some pretty cool awards for our state, so we're really happy about that. It's you know, we've been blessed in so many ways on that. It's, you know, it's that was it was the coolest thing manufactured in the state of Virginia. That was voted on by the public, so that was pretty cool. We were entered in that contest by our locality here that you know, Chamber of Commerce entered us in it. We had no clue that we would ever do well in it, but you know, it got enough interest that everybody was like, wow, that thing is cool. And next thing you know, we ended up winning the thing for the state. So it was, we've won some pretty big awards throughout the time, you know, best engineered cars, best appearing cars. We've won Super Chevy a couple times with stuff. But this one was a big one. This one was something that I think we'll be proud of this one for a long time.